Your job is to remove or minimize barriers that prevent people from being their best and unlocking potential they didn't even know they had.
Do you want this? If you want this, you got to show up. And that is leadership. And as a byproduct of that, you will start to develop those skills because you're going to see other great leaders who show up.
I mean, a mishire is very costly for sure. Like it's a big deal.
Okay.
You're listening to the Limitless Leadership podcast, the podcast designed to help automotive repair shops learn how to lead, coach, train, and manage their team better by sharing proven techniques and thought-provoking interviews from industry leaders. Are you ready to transform your leadership skills by tapping into unrecognized potential to achieve limitless results? Let's get ready for liftoff. It's time to go from great to greater. Here's today's episode.
Promotive is a recruiting partner built specifically for the automotive aftermarket, giving shops a smarter and more reliable way to hire technicians. Their team brings decades of industry experience together with real recruiting expertise. So they not only understand the work, you can trust that they understand your shop. Promotive handles every part of the hiring process. They source talent proactively, screen candidates thoroughly, and guide them through a structured, high-touch experience. Shops only meet candidates who are qualified, aligned, and ready to move. Shops partner with Promotive because they communicate clearly, they move quickly, and take ownership of the hiring process. They don't just forward resumes, they act like a true recruiting arm for your business. To learn more or start a search, visit gopromotive.com. Book a call, submit an opening, and see how Promotive helps shops hire better. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Limitless Leadership Podcast, live at the 2025 AAPEX show in Las Vegas, Nevada, joined by two, I would say, new friends of mine. I think we've been connected on social media for a while now, but the beautiful thing about these two guests is that they are from the newest sponsor of the Limitless Leadership Podcast, that is Promotive. And so I'm joined by my two friends, CEO Lisa Coyle and COO Kat Ayers. Thank you both for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm excited for not only the audience to get to know more about you, but also for myself. I mean, Lisa, you and I jumped on a call not too long ago and got to know a little bit more about each other. Kat, I'm getting to know you on this episode, which is fun.
In real time.
In real time. And so let's get right into it. If you would, share with the audience who you are, what you do, and how you do it.
So my name's Lisa Coyle, and I live in the Bay Area. I have two kids, 6 and 9 years old. So I like to tell everyone I'm a mom first, and business is something I'm super passionate about. My first company is 360 Payments. Hopefully many of your audience has heard of that company. And the newest, latest, and greatest, about 2.5 years old, is Promotive. And we help shops find technicians primarily, but any role that they're looking for, service advisor, parts people, any position that they really need filled, we take that off their plate for them.
Awesome. So soccer mom too, right?
Soccer
Your kids
mom.
play soccer.
Yep.
You're all about that soccer action right now.
Yeah, 5 days a week.
Okay, that is a full-time job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you are a mom first. And you said y'all primarily help shops find technicians. I mean, there is a technician shortage. Would we agree with that?
Oh, 100%.
So if you're listening and you're thinking, hey, I think there's a technician shortage, I could use some help with new technicians in my shop, we know who to call, Promotive. And we're going to talk about where to find you guys soon. But I'm going to pass the mic to you now, Kat. Share with the audience who you are, what you do, how you do it.
Yeah, so I'm Kat. Nice to meet everyone, and I'm glad everyone's listening. So I've been in technology for about 20 years, so it's a little bit of a different background, but Lisa and I met in the automotive aftermarket. So we met when I was at a former company. 360 Payments was acquired by that company, and since then, we've been fast friends and decided about 2 years ago to do business together, and it's been a fun ride ever since. I, too, am a mom. I don't know if I'd say mom first anymore, only because my daughter is, 24 years old and lives in a foreign country these days. So I'm in a little bit different stage of life, but business is absolutely my passion. I love to build. I just love how all of the parts and pieces work together. And I think that relates to kind of anything, whether it's a team or a car or your shop or whatever. I just love that building process of business.
Did either of you envision yourself years ago being in the automotive aftermarket?
No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. I was impressed the other day on a plane that we had a deplane because it was missing a lug nut. And I was impressed that I knew what a lug nut was. I definitely had no vision of being in the aftermarket space at all, but I have zero regrets. It's one of my favorite. It's not just the industry, it's the people that we work with.
Well, 360 Payments got you into the industry, correct?
Yeah, we started as a payment processing company, knocking on every door, every floor. So, doctors, dentists, lawyers, nonprofits, restaurants, repair shops. And I love the book Good to Great by Jim Collins. Yep. And they have the hedgehog concept. And we had just gone through the chip card migration with having to swap out all of our customers' credit card machines to have this whole chip card thing. And we decided during that, what do we want to be when we grow up? What can we do that is different than any other credit card processing company out there that's just slinging rates? And it was the automotive industry that we decided to focus on because there was so much technology there, but it wasn't all intertwined. It wasn't integrated, and there was an opportunity to do that. So we went all in on the automotive industry and have not looked back since.
So prior to starting Promotive, how long was 360 Payments in the industry?
So 360 started in 2011.
Okay.
And we verticalized probably in 2015 is when we really went all at it. So call it 10 years, and then Promotive started 2.5 years ago.
What prompted the addition of Promotive, creation of Promotive?
Yeah, the number one objection we got as salespeople.
Can't find tips.
I can't switch my payment processing, I can't switch my software, I can't switch my website, was because I'm short-staffed.
Okay.
I don't have time to deal with that. I'm now having to turn the wrenches. I'm at the counter answering the phones. I need help finding people. And, in business, the urgent outweighs the priorities a lot of times. And shop owners are putting out fires every single day. Something unexpected happens, right? Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. And we weren't making sales because of that objection. And then we just started thinking about who's out there helping shop owners find people? Because at 360 and at Velo and at Blackbaud, where she was, we're used to having headhunters and recruiters help us find, our VP of sales or our COO, and who's doing that for shops. And there really wasn't many companies doing it, at least not the way we do it, from start to finish, literally full service, full cycle recruiting. So that's how it started, was trying to help give shops their time back and find people faster than they would from, because they're busy turning the wrenches and answering the phones or taking their kids to soccer. We want to do it quicker for them, give them time.
All right, folks, as you know, great leadership isn't about doing everything the best. It's actually about having the right partners in your corner to build your shop's success. It's about putting the right team in place. It's about choosing the right vendors to make you a pro, making pro moves. And when I think about the pros, I think about shop marketing pros. The know, like, and trust factor, that's a real thing. And Shop Marketing Pros understands that. That's why I want to recommend Shop Marketing Pros to become your marketing partner in your shop. They get to know, like, and trust you and your business to then help your audience get to know, like, and trust you too, and bring your shop to the next level. So when I talk about making pro moves, this is the kind of move I'm talking about. This is the kind of standard-setting partnership that's going to elevate your shop. So if you're ready to become a pro in your shop, visit shopmarketingpros.com and partner with the best. When you talk about giving shop owners their time back, when you talk about talent acquisition from start to finish, what does that mean from start to finish?
Go ahead, Kat.
Yeah. So we do everything from, we have a conversation with you about your shop culture, about how you work, about your compensation, what types of, people fit into your organization. And then we go out and we do all the searching, all of it. We post the jobs and we intake all the candidates. We screen them. We, ask a variety of questions and go down all sorts of rabbit holes. Luckily, because we have a lot of industry experience on our team, we have a lot of people who are experienced in asking these questions and really kind of rooting out what's happening with the candidate. And then we provide just the candidates that work for you. So instead of you, talking to the person who's never been in the industry worked at Taco Bell. It's great. We want them to come into the industry and go through those channels, but they're probably not your A-Tech. And so we don't want you spending your time, talking to that person, weeding them out. So we do all that for you. And then we just present you the candidates that you may be interested in interviewing, you interview, and then we help you negotiate with the candidate salary and all the rest. We manage the offer letter process and then ensure they actually make it their first day, right? We follow up with them and text them on a Sunday, good luck tomorrow,
Yes.
all that kind of stuff to make sure to do everything we can to solve these problems that we know that shop owners are feeling themselves. We're trying to take that burden, right? They're feeling the ghosting and they're feeling the unqualified or underqualified candidate who starts and 3 weeks later, you're like, we got comebacks, right? There's a lot of that in the, out there. And so we want to just take that totally off.
I love that. The personalization is going to go a long way. Being able to send that congratulations text or the, hey, good luck tomorrow. I got to say, I'm humbled and honored that Promotive is sponsoring this podcast. I think this is a great partnership. Obviously, I'm biased, but I'm a leadership coach in this industry that desperately needs leadership skills. And I love the fact that you're focused on getting the right people on the bus and getting the wrong people off the bus, and making sure that in the talent acquisition process, the shop owners are getting the right person. Now we get to effectively onboard, properly train, consistently coach. I'm curious, do you guide your clients in a way where it's like, look, we got the person, we've got the right fit. We hired values. In some cases, we prioritized values over skill set because we're hiring for your culture also. You get to develop a skill set throughout the process, but that requires effectively onboarding, properly training, and consistently coaching them. What is the next step? I mean, you say start to finish, but I know that there's always after the acquisition. What is the next step in regards to that process?
Yeah, there's a ton of opportunity here. So we do a lot of follow-up with our candidates through their entire life cycle. As long as they're interested in continuing to have a conversation with Promotive, we talk to them. Okay. Meaning we check in. How's it going? Our recruiters get, I don't want to say close, it's probably the wrong word, but they learn about their candidates' families and challenges. And I mean, they're hearing, what their compensation is, right? That's an intimate kind of conversation. And so we can do that. But your point is spot on, which is the shop owns the relationship with their employee. And it's super, super, super important that they take that very seriously and that they spend the time to onboard them and get them ingratiated into the culture and all of that. Because if not, that candidate's going to leave and you're back in the same position, right? And we don't want that either. We want that candidate to stay and be happy and productive for you.
Hey folks, running an auto repair shop, it's tough. We know that. And between managing repairs, keeping customers happy, and handling front office tasks, there's never enough time in the day. That's where Hub Shop Solutions comes in. Hub takes the burden off your team by building fast, accurate repair estimates and handling extended warranties, so you can focus on what really matters, running a profitable, efficient shop. With Hub, you free up your team, you boost efficiency, and you increase profits. So sign up now and get free onboarding. Visit hubshopsolutions.com to schedule a demo today. Hub Shop Solutions. Unlock your shop's full potential. My wife and I, we met on a dating app called Hinge. Mm-hmm. And I think Hinge's tagline, I'm not sure if it still is this, but it's the dating app designed to be deleted. If you're doing your job right, you actually don't want to hear from the shop owners again, right? Sure. It's look, we got you the talent that you needed, the values in this person that you needed. Hopefully things go so well that we don't hear from you anytime soon, right? Now, I know that not always the case, but let me ask you this. A stat that I share in a lot of the trainings that I do is it costs shop owners 6 to 9 months of a team member's salary to replace them. Does that line up with kind of what y'all are seeing?
I think more than, you're probably being conservative when you take some, opportunity costs and soft costs out of it. You can't monetize the culture that you have to go fix. Yeah. You can't monetize the onboarding training hours that somebody took the time to teach them how to do X, Y, and Z. I mean, a mishire is very costly for sure. It's a big deal. Okay. So, by the way, your wife and you are the cutest little couple and family. I saw it on Facebook the other day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys could be on a magazine cover.
Lisa, hey, she makes me look way better than I am. She's proof that there's a God.
She's beautiful.
That. Oh, she is. She's amazing. Yeah.
And the kids are all too.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me.
Yeah. I admiring you guys the other day.
Maybe now she'll finally listen to this podcast. So now that you said that, she's going to actually listen to an episode.
She's
I'm
gonna get
just
some
kidding. I
fans
love you.
now.
Oh my
But unlike Hinge, for the record,
Yeah.
because weirdly, Connor from Kukui and I were just talking about this on the way here from SEMA to AAPEX, that, we're going to ultimately try to build some sort of like Match.com app for the techs and the shops. But we are working ourselves out of jobs sometimes, which is weird because at 360, and shop software, it's an ongoing relationship and you're not working yourself out of a job. With this, we're helping shops expand, right? So, if they get that tech in there and they're keeping their techs busy, then they need more marketing dollars to bring more car count in, and then they're going to need another technician, and then eventually they're going to need another service advisor, and then they could buy another location. So
I love that.
We're really trying to help them expand. Don't get me wrong, we have plenty of shops that are, more lifestyle business. They're happy just having their one location of, they know how many people they need and they're happy where they're all at. But we do feel like we're a part of helping shops grow their business.
Which is something else that you can't really put a price tag on. I mean, it's hard to quantify what that really can bring to a shop. I mean, the more we talk about this, the more I see the synergy in how both of our companies operate, in a sense of like, you're helping the shop get the right person on the bus. And then we can furthermore onboard, train, and coach them so that they are staying there.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, how many employees, how many team members does Promotive have?
She probably knows the exact count. I always say 20 to 25, but
It's 23. Nice work.
so I'm like, it's always,
The COO's got to know the right number,
Yeah,
right?
she knows
23.
exactly.
So let me ask you, because this is a leadership podcast, you started Promotive 2.5 years ago, already 23 team members. Congratulations, by the way. I started Limitless Leadership 2.5 years ago, and you have 22 more team members on your team than I do. So y'all are doing something right.
Yeah, it's not, having the quantity of employees, I got, one day I was talking to the shop owner 360 days, probably 10 years ago. And, I like to bounce ideas like, what are you guys doing for your 401k? What are you doing for your payroll? Like what's new out there that like I could use as a business owner too? And he was like, oh, it's funny you asked about the 401k. Like I'm actually going through like a ton of issues right now getting it set up. And I was like, well, how many employees do you have? Like I thought it was like a smaller shop. And he's like, 2. I go, you're setting up a 401k for 2 employees? He's like, too many. Right? Like, so that was like a little joke that he had. I'm personally proud of not having tons and tons of employees, in that, like, I don't want to grow our business by adding bodies, right? I want to grow by making them more efficient. Sure. And, but it's a lot more fun when you have 23 employees and you come to events like this.
Well, it's more fun. I assume it's also more challenging because you're talking about leading different people, different personalities. They receive information differently, which requires us as leaders to even coach, train, manage, and lead them differently. I'll ask you, what does leadership mean to you? If you had to define that in your own words, what would you say to that question? What does leadership mean to you?
You want me to go first or you?
You go ahead. You can go first.
So I talk about leadership every day, and my answer will probably change tomorrow from today. Just like, what does parenting mean to you? It changes constantly. But at the end of the day, fundamentally, I think leadership, your job is to remove or minimize barriers that prevents people from being their best and unlocking potential they didn't even know they had.
That's right.
Literally unlocking somebody's capability, their opportunity. I wholeheartly, I almost said the same.
I love that.
Yeah.
So
But it's just like removing roadblocks, like shadow them and what they're doing in the day to day, and wonder, ask yourself, why are they clicking this 7 times? How can we make that faster?
Yeah.
And I don't love talking about cancer, but it's a great analogy. Is I think employees learn to live with the cancer they have sometimes, right? And they're just it's I call it the hangnail syndrome, and I have 3 of them right now from being in Vegas. But people just live with the hangnails and they put a Band-Aid on it instead of stop picking the hangnail, Lisa, right? And they just need to they need to fix the little things, and it's amazing what.
Are you saying they need to have the hard conversation?
Oh yeah,
I mean
hard
how many
conversations.
times do we avoid that? right?
Oh, yeah. They're tough, hard conversations.
So, Kat, I'm going to go to you here in a second with the same question. I know that she probably stole your answer, but I know you got a good answer
I had a
as
different
well.
one in mind, but the unlock was definitely part of my thought.
I like that you. So, I actually like the cancer analogy. I mean, I know we don't want to talk about it, but it's a good analogy where it's like, it is the reality. How are we going to live with this? However, we as leaders have the opportunity to hire the right people. And when I say right people, I talk about, as a leadership coach, I talk about hiring your CIA team members. Promotive, if you want to take this. Hire people who are coachable, intelligent, and who have the right attitude. And intelligent does not necessarily mean book smarts. It means emotional intelligence. Mm-hmm. It means recognizing how and when and where to exercise empathy. Empathizing with someone doesn't mean that you necessarily have to experience the same situation as that person, but it does mean that you can imagine their circumstances and accept their feelings without invalidating them. So when you have someone who is coachable, who recognizes that if I'm being coached, this is feedback. It's not criticism, condemnation, and judgment. It's feedback. I have the wherewithal and the self and situational awareness to recognize how emotional intelligence can truly make or break my ability to connect with my team. And then A for attitude. My favorite quote from Zig Ziglar regarding attitude is, your attitude, not your aptitude, will determine your altitude. I'll ask you, as recruiters, talent acquisitioners, if that's a word, what are your thoughts on the CIA team member concept? And are you encouraging shop owners to actually prioritize values over skill set? Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
So we live this ourselves. We say, like, we are more interested in having the right people on the bus than the particular seat they're in.
Okay.
Because for us, the right people on the bus are going to be open to the opportunity ahead of them. And they're going to say, this is interesting and this is where I want to be. And even if this particular thing isn't perfect for me today, I know that there's a culture that I want to fit in with and an opportunity to do that thing in the future. And so we live this every day. I do think it's a great point. It's absolutely, if we could just get more and more people doing that, we would find those diamonds in the rough. We have a couple of incredible people on our team that are just diamonds in the rough. They just didn't know where to go, didn't know what necessarily they wanted to do, but like, how do you kind of pluck that out of them and get them to that space. So we live that. And so, yeah, we encourage our shops. Our account managers are very involved in those conversations with them. I think it needs to continue, not just like, oh yeah, week 1, you did onboarding. Like, this needs to be forever. And Lisa talks a lot about, you can kind of explain it better, but your kind of 4-box grid of, your performance, right? Here, you're like high potential, high performers, and that's your like upper right hand. And the fact of the matter is everyone isn't in the upper right hand. So how do you make sure that you're kind of continuing to evolve more and more people into that upper right-hand box. And that to me is that investment in them, in the culture and continuing to give that feedback for sure.
Okay. Want to elaborate on the grid?
Oh, sure. On the grid, I do this multiple times with our team. I've done it for 10 years, probably longer than that. So if you make a 4-box and at the top you just write, attitude / team player, and on the left side you write results, right? And then you give at the top a good, a bad, and then on the left a good, bad. So to Kat's point, you have good attitude, team player, and then good results, right? That's your dream bucket that you want everybody to be in. So those are the people that are not only turning the hours, they are, making sure that the new guy feels welcomed. They are using your DVI tool and not resisting it. They're inputting everything into the shop software. They're coming to the team events and valuing the culture that you're building, right? Those are your dream employees. That's like me and Kat and you, right? Like, come on.
Preach. Come on, Lisa.
Right? And then you have the opposite end, we'll just say, is like the bad attitude and the bad results. Like, those are the ones that I tell everybody, like, get rid of them yesterday. Like, yeah. It's very rare that a PIP, a performance improvement plan, like, turns people around for the long haul. Right. I'd rather give someone 3 months severance to just leave than to try to
rip the Band-Aid off.
Right. And this is, by the way, me being extreme, that you've already done the other stuff in between, right? So like if they don't turn around, if they do, anyone can turn around with their back against the wall for a 1, 2, 3 month period.
Exactly.
Like, are they going to change for the long haul? But then there's the ones in between where they have good results and they're, bad attitude or bad team players. These are usually like your brilliant jerks. They're the ones that are your master tech that is crushing it. They're doing all the stuff that you need them to do to get the cars out the door. But they're a jerk to the new employees. They're angry. They don't ever want to come to your team events. I don't need to use DVI. I could look at this in my sleep, right? And you can't scale the brilliant jerks. That's the biggest problem with them. And then they also are the ones that, well, if this person doesn't have to do it, why do I have to do it? Yep. Right? Mindset.
Hostage situation. It's a hostage situation.
Those are, in my opinion, the toughest as a leader, because usually they're not jerks on purpose, right? It's just that you are making them less efficient by asking them to do these other things. So as leaders, you have to figure out, how can I show them? You might have to take that step backwards temporarily, but you're going to take 10 steps forward.
Okay.
Right? And those are the hard ones. Then you have the other ones that are like the rock star. They are your preacher, the biggest cheerleader, and they're great team players, but they aren't turning the hours. They're not getting the sales numbers you need, whatever the case is. And those are the ones you're usually coaching, right? And so you put them in buckets. And a fun exercise for businesses to do is ask their team to fill in, and you don't have to have them share it with their peers, but ask them to put the people on their team in those buckets, and then ask them where they are. And if they think everyone on our team is in that good bucket, then we're crushing it. But no, I've never once had anybody say our entire team is in that good bucket, which means we have work to do.
Yeah.
As a culture and as a company.
So let me ask you, I'm going to ask a leading question.
Yeah.
When you are working with shop owners who are trying to get the right person on the bus, they're utilizing Promotive to assist in the hiring process. How do you determine what culture you are attempting to hire into? Or do you even ask about, do you learn about the shop's culture, their core values, their mission statement? What does that look like?
Do you want it that way?
Sure. Yeah. So, we do research our website and all of that. This starts from the sales process. So our sales process is as much about who are you as a customer and who are we as a partner, or who are we together as partners? Because it has to be the right fit, right? We're not the right fit for every shop, and every shop is not the right fit for us. And that's okay. Yeah. So let's understand what this means to you. What does Promotive mean to you? Do you think that this is just you're desperate and you're trying to get out of this hole and you just want to do this one time? And that's not who we are. And so that's probably not who, we want to work with. So we want to pick apart, what is your culture? Are you honest about it? Are you willing to have conversations about your compensation model when we get feedback from 4 or 5 or 6 people that say their comp is too low? I've seen them in the market. So there's all those types of things that we do on the sales side. And then we take that even a step further on the account management side. So our customers each have an account manager that they work with to do all of their things, posting jobs and scheduling interviews and making sure that we're getting movement, giving updates, all of that. So it's super important to what we do for our customers. And also our account managers are empowered to give that feedback to our customers, that we have had this feedback in the market about your shop. Let's talk about that. Why is there a perception? Or we are getting feedback, from a place candidate that things are not as good as they originally thought. How do we fix this? And also, we want the feedback from the shop that says this candidate is not what he sold me. Yeah. How do we fix this, right? So this really has to be like a dance and a partnership to make sure that the culture fit and the person fit is as right as it can be. For what they need.
I love hearing you say that. One of the styles of leadership is called situational leadership, where you're adapting to the needs of a situation and the needs and the abilities of those that you're leading. And this is why I often say leadership is truly a full-time job. But I'm bringing up situational leadership because what you're describing is when you get to learn that this client is different from this client and this client is different from that client, you then get to situationally lead that particular hiring process. And you are, it kind of is like matchmaking. You're determining this person over here would be a great fit for shop A, but not for shop B, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. And so it's important that that shop owners hear what Promotive is saying. Like, look, we're not a cookie cutter company. Like, we're going to learn who you are, how we can best serve you, how we can best help you, and we're going to do our best to match you with the right candidate throughout this talent acquisition process. Kat, let me go back to you. The question I asked earlier, what does leadership mean to you? How would you answer that question?
So originally my answer was going to be like, to me, it's showing up every day consistently and just wanting the best from everyone around you. And I think if you do that, like, you have to work on leadership. I've had to work on it, like, executive coaches and therapy and all the good stuff that like makes you a empathetic leader and all of that. But like, I think so much is like consistently showing up, being very consistent with your communication, your expectations. Like, that is just, those are really foundational things that earn you the trust to then do the next set of things. And so like, if you start with that as like very basic leadership, and I talked to my 24-year-old about this, like, you should be the first, Wayne Gretzky said it this morning for those who listened, like, you should be the first one there.
Yeah.
You're the newbie. Do you want this? If you want this, you got to show up. And that is leadership. And as a byproduct of that, you will start to develop those skills because you're going to see other great leaders who show up, other great leaders who give feedback, other great leaders, like, if you do those things. So building that foundation, I think, is really important. So I think you can expand on that. You can, strengths finders, and you can do the MBTI, and you could do the insights discovery, and you could share all those things, which are wonderful leadership tools as well to share. But I think real basics, and being able to get back to those of show up, work hard, be positive, all of those good things just start to build that leadership foundation.
There is so much power in showing up and being able to be available for those that you're leading. The best ability for a leader is availability. Mm-hmm. And when you can show up, you make people feel a certain kind of way, which is powerful. One of my favorite quotes comes from Maya Angelou. She says, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And the irony is, like, you can say all the right things. You can even do all the right things, but they're not going to remember what you said to them. However, what you said and how you said it and what you did is going to prompt them to feel something that they're never going to forget, which is huge.
Yeah. Is that a transaction or is that an interaction? And they're two different things, right? A transaction is very, okay, employee, we, met in the hallway, we passed each other in the hallway, versus, yeah, let's spend 5 minutes and have coffee. How's your kid? How's soccer? Yeah. Right? You did it with us, right? That's just that little bit that really matters.
People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I mean, it's like when you can show genuine interest, authentic, genuine interest, that's going to go a long way for someone.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. In the hiring process, do you use disc profile assessment, or like your strength finders you referenced, or other personality profile assessments?
We don't at Promotive.
Okay.
Some of our shops have us use some of their assessments.
Okay.
So some of the coaching groups are very, high on some of the assessments. We'll do those. But, I've done those before. I've done strength finders. I've done the disc ones. It's very easy to know what I am in all of these. But, I don't know. Sometimes I have such mixed feelings on them for using it to hire. Yeah. Now, to work with your peers, I have different feelings.
Okay. I can understand that. I mean, you don't want to use it as the tool. I think you can use it as a tool.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you verbalizing this, because it can be, there's a fine line in like, am I going to use this? Like, I've only got to have a DI on the disc profile. Otherwise, I'm not going to, that's not a way to hire.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Very good. Second question I ask every guest on this podcast is, what is the best advice you've ever received from a coach or a mentor? Who would like to take that one first?
She probably has lots of good ones.
Does that mean you've got a lot of coaching, Kat?
I have had a lot of coaching. Okay. Yes. I'm so grateful to my team. Like I have a team. Like I have an executive coach and all that. I call them Team Cat. Yeah. Lisa's on Team Cat. So I don't know if it was from a coach or a mentor, but like, act your way into thinking differently is a big one for me.
Say it again. Act your way into thinking differently.
Yeah. Right. So if you feel like, you're dreading work and you don't want to get up in the morning and you got the Sunday scaries and all that kind of stuff, act your way into thinking differently. Get up in the morning on Monday and go for a walk, take the dog out, go for a bike ride with your kid, get a workout in. Like, what's the thing that is going to change your mind? And if you,
routine,
yes,
right?
and if you do that consistently, it will change your mind, right? The thing that you hated, you now love, or the thing that you dreaded, you've learned to respect. Even if you don't love it, to learn to respect that and to do that, I think is just very powerful. And I live this one as well, like a lot, because I have a lot of like, oh, that's crazy. And then I have to like act your way into thinking differently. Like if you're frustrated, the number one thing I do when I'm frustrated is I go give out high fives for people, like what they've been doing and how great they've been doing. Cause it's like,
and when you're done, you feel different.
You can't not feel good giving people high fives, right? Like you can't. Like we have a little high five, like in Slack, you know,
punches.
Yeah.
Lisa, I have to apologize because I didn't know that Kat's answer was going to be so amazing, and now you have to follow that. So
she did it to me first on the last.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's very into the coaching and the mentorship and everything. And honestly, it took me a while to like that stuff's cheesy.
Just keep acting your way into thinking.
Right, yeah,
you're gonna come around.
Yeah, no, and it's like I probably was that like arrogant, like I don't need this stuff, like and I'd say like my stepdad gives me so much advice all the time, and gosh, there's so many, but like what I literally think about daily, not just professionally, but in my relationship with my wife and my kids. Is this the hill you want to die on?
Oh my God, that's such a good one. Yes. Can I do +1 on hers? Because you just took my thunder.
Like, it's really like, we got ourselves so worked up. I'm really good at like going spiraling and like twisting things of like these crazy situations. And like, do I like really want to get worked up over this? Like, just let it go, right? Like, and so it's like really comes down to like picking your battles, right? Like, is this the battle I want to pick with my spouse, with my kid, with my, coworker or whatever? Like, and I just think, when you have that mindset, like the other shit doesn't matter, right? Like,
Lisa, I am a leadership coach in this industry. My wife is a licensed professional counselor, and we regularly need to take that advice you just shared because, like, at the end of the day, I mean, now granted, we got 4 kids. The oldest is 14, youngest is 9. We got 2 kids in between, and it's like, it just feels like there's always something. And at the end of the day, we have to regularly remind ourselves, like, hey, look, like, don't sweat the small stuff. At the end of the day, this is small stuff. Are we going to allow this to affect us and the rest of our day? And it can be challenging because you're in it and you feel it, and these emotions are high and logic is low. But can we step back and just take a breath and recognize, like, look, this is it's small potatoes compared to all life.
So right? Many people, like one of my other favorite lines is like, so many people would dream of having your problems.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah, like, you're absolutely right.
So when you get worked up over something, it's like, gosh, this is such like, I'm so lucky that this is what I'm worked up about right now.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of thinking your way into acting different, like that right there. I got the wink, Kat. I got the wink. Yeah, I mean that is. I love that.
She's an incredible leader.
Oh,
I love that. That's awesome. Well, you definitely seem to be an incredible leader. I'm pumped. I'm pumped about Promotive, the partnership that we have. Anything I can do to help y'all, reach out. You know where to find me. Thank you again for being on the show. Any parting words of wisdom before we go?
Oh man, like always, I'll say it's not like a word of wisdom, but like something that came up, like what. Like getting feedback, we were talking about feedback and stuff, like it really does like suck to hear sometimes, and it's very easy to defend, right, and have reasons why. Like I would just say, like, teach your team how to just say thank you for the feedback, and then get in the habit of that yourself as well, and try to just put yourself, when you do get that feedback, put yourself in the shoes of the person giving it. Like, they don't want to be giving this feedback.
Preach.
Nobody wants to be having this tough conversation. It took them a hell of a lot more courage to be able to tell you that, even if it's through a text message that they read 15 times and made sure that, like, there's a proper punctuation to make sure the tone was read right. Like, it takes courage on that. And as a business, like, be the one that is just saying thank you and make the change so your team then feels like they can continue to give that feedback, because they're not giving you that feedback. They're just talking about you to their spouse. They're talking about you to other coworkers or employees. And Yeah, I'd say teach them to say thank you.
Strong advice. Love that. Kat, anything to add?
You can find us at
Yes.
gopromotive.com.
GoPromotive.com. Okay.
We serve customers in all states. We have like 30 states, I think, at this point.
Okay.
And we have an incredible team and we have an incredible mission, and we'd love to talk to you about it. So look for us wherever you find anything aftermarket.
Excellent. GoPromotive.com. You're in 30 states. We're going to get you to 50 sooner rather than later.
Let's do it.
We already got Alaska checked off. We're
Oh, yeah?
looking for Hawaii,
Very good.
so let's
Okay.
go. We got some great customers in Alaska.
Hey, when y'all get Hawaii, let's take a Hawaiian trip.
Yeah.
I'll join you to
we'll
celebrate.
put that on
Do it.
Lisa's tab.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds great to me. Hey, well, thank you both for being here. It was an honor, and looking forward to doing this again with y'all
Yeah,
soon.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for tuning in to yet again another episode of the Limitless Leadership Podcast. As you know, every episode we look to transform our leadership skills by tapping into unrecognized potential to achieve limitless results. So thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to smile today. Tell your loved ones how much they mean to you. I'm Josh Parnell, reminding you to keep leading well.